Epictetus, a revered Stoic philosopher, once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." In this profound statement lies the essence of Stoic philosophy and the key to a life of serenity. Today we dive into the timeless wisdom of Epictetus, exploring the principles that distinguish between what we can control and what eludes our grasp. Our journey will uncover the secret to navigating life's unpredictable tides without losing our peace of mind. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. By understanding and applying the teachings of Epictetus, we embark on a path to resilience, inner peace, and true happiness. Join us as we explore these transformative principles and discover how to harness the power of our responses to shape a life of fulfillment and tranquility. Principle 1. Focus on what you can control. Imagine life as a journey on a vast sea. The sea represents the world around us, filled with events and circumstances that we often cannot predict or control. These include the actions of others, societal trends, natural events, and even aspects of our own bodies. Now, envision yourself as the captain of your ship on this sea. The direction you steer, the sails you set, and how you respond to the winds and waves are within your realm of control. Epictetus urges us to focus our energies on our ship, our actions, choices, and attitudes. It's not the storm itself that determines our journey's success, but how we navigate through it. When we waste effort trying to control the uncontrollable, like changing the direction of the wind, we set ourselves up for frustration and disappointment. Consider a modern example. You're preparing for an important presentation at work. You've honed your speech, perfected your slides, and practiced tirelessly. Yet, on the day, a technical glitch occurs, disrupting your flow. Here, Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between the effort put into preparation within our control and the occurrence of a technical fault beyond our control. By focusing on our response to the glitch rather than the glitch itself, we maintain our composure and adapt swiftly. This principle also extends to our emotional and mental realms. How often do we let the opinions of others or circumstances beyond our reach disturb our inner peace? Stoicism doesn't ask us to be indifferent to external events, but rather to separate our self-worth and happiness from them. It teaches us resilience, the ability to remain stable and consistent in the face of life's unpredictability. In practicing this principle, we cultivate an inner fortress impervious to the chaos of the external world. We learn to respond, not react. We find freedom in understanding that while we cannot control everything, our power lies in how we respond to what happens. This is where our true strength resides. Principle 2. Hold on to your beliefs. Our journey into Stoicism brings us to its second vital teaching, as espoused by Epictetus, the importance of steadfastly holding on to your beliefs. This principle challenges us to remain true to our convictions, even in the face of external pressures or popular opinion. Imagine navigating a path through a dense forest. Your beliefs are your compass, guiding you through the thicket of societal norms, expectations, and criticisms. In a world brimming with diverse viewpoints and constant change, staying true to your core values is a testament to your character and integrity. Epictetus, with remarkable foresight, recognized the struggle inherent in this endeavor. He acknowledged the ridicule and misunderstanding that often accompany a commitment to personal beliefs, especially those that diverge from mainstream thought. He illustrated this through the metaphor of a new philosopher who, upon adopting a philosophical life, might face scorn or disbelief from those around them. He suddenly became a philosopher, they might mock, Or where did this pretentious attitude come from? Yet Epictetus encourages us to endure these trials, for in adhering to our principles, we find our true selves. This Stoic lesson has profound implications in our modern lives. Consider the realm of social media, a landscape where opinions are often swayed by likes, shares, and viral trends. The courage to voice an unpopular but well-considered opinion, or to refrain from following a trend that conflicts with your values, is a powerful demonstration of this principle. There's an inherent beauty in authenticity that Epictetus urges us to embrace. When we align our actions with our beliefs, we not only foster a sense of inner peace, but also attract respect and admiration from others. This doesn't mean we become inflexible or dogmatic. Instead, it's about being consistent in our values, open to learning, but not swayed by every wind of opinion. However, this path isn't without its challenges. Standing firm in your beliefs might lead to temporary isolation or ridicule. But Epictetus assures us that perseverance pays off. Those who once mocked may eventually come to respect and even admire your steadfastness. The key lies in not adopting a holier-than-thou attitude, but in quietly and confidently living out your convictions. Epictetus's teachings remind us that true freedom and self-respect come not from external validation, but from being true to ourselves. By holding on to our beliefs, we navigate life not as leaves blown by the whims of others, but as ships steering their own course, guided by the stars of our deepest convictions. Principle 3. Indifference to external judgments. Picture yourself in the midst of a crowded marketplace, where each passerby represents a different opinion, judgment, or criticism. Just as you navigate through this crowd without being swayed by each individual's presence, so too can you move through life, acknowledging others' opinions without letting them disturb your inner peace. Epictetus teaches us that when others speak ill of us or judge us unfairly, they do so from their perspective, shaped by their experiences and biases. Their judgment reflects their understanding of the world, not an objective truth about us. He reminds us that we have the power to choose our reaction to these external opinions. We can either let them penetrate and disturb our inner tranquility, or we can observe them with detachment, understanding that they are mere perceptions, not defining truths. This Stoic lesson is particularly pertinent in today's society, where social media platforms and public forums are rife with judgment and criticism. It's easy to become entangled in the web of others' opinions, allowing them to dictate our self-esteem and happiness. Epictetus encourages us to break free from this dependence, asserting that our value does not diminish based on others' inability to see our worth. Furthermore, this principle teaches us the art of patience and understanding. When faced with judgment, we are encouraged to reflect on why the person may hold that opinion, and to respond with empathy rather than defensiveness. This doesn't mean we accept their judgment as valid, but rather that we acknowledge their right to an opinion while maintaining our self-respect. In practicing indifference to external judgments, we cultivate emotional resilience. We learn to trust our inner compass, guiding our thoughts and actions according to our values and principles, rather than the fluctuating opinions of others. This leads to a life of authenticity, where our actions are a true reflection of our inner self, unshaken by the tides of societal judgment. Epictetus's teachings here offer a liberating perspective, one where our happiness and peace of mind are not held hostage by the views of others. By embracing indifference to external judgments, we unlock a path to greater self-confidence and inner harmony. Principle 4. The power of being mentally strong. The fourth principle of Stoicism, as taught by Epictetus, delves into the essence of mental fortitude. This tenet invites us to fortify our minds, empowering us to remain steadfast and serene in the face of life's myriad challenges. It's a call to nurture an inner resilience that allows us to navigate our lives with equanimity and strength. Picture your mind as a fortress. Just as a fortress is designed to withstand assaults and protect its inhabitants, so too is your mind capable of resisting external disturbances, be they negative comments, unforeseen events, or stress-inducing situations. Epictetus impresses upon us the significance of guarding this mental fortress with the same vigilance and care as we would our physical homes. In our fast-paced, often turbulent world, we are incessantly bombarded with stimuli that can easily disturb our inner peace. A harsh word from a colleague, an unexpected setback, even the constant stream of news and social media all have the potential to disrupt our mental equilibrium. Epictetus, with profound wisdom, prompts us to question why we allow these externalities to penetrate our minds and disrupt our tranquility, just as we would never indiscriminately allow a stranger into our home. The Stoic philosopher teaches us that mental strength is not an inherent trait, but a skill to be cultivated. It involves the conscious practice of self-discipline, the nurturing of resilience, and the development of a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. An insult, a setback, a failure, these are not inherently damaging. They become so only when we permit them to affect our state of mind. Consider a scenario in your professional life where a project doesn't go as planned. The Stoic approach isn't to dismiss the failure, but to view it through a lens of objectivity and learning. What can this experience teach you? How can it contribute to your personal and professional growth? By adopting this mindset, we transform potential negative experiences into constructive lessons. Epictetus's teachings in this regard are not a call to emotional suppression or indifference. Rather, they encourage a conscious engagement with our emotions, acknowledging them but not allowing them to dominate our actions or decisions. This principle advocates for a balance, a state where we are aware of our emotions and external circumstances, yet not ruled by them. Principle 5. Rejecting the shame of disrespect. Envision yourself on a journey where every step is a reflection of your choices and actions. Along this path, you encounter the shadows of disrespect and derision. In a society that often equates success with external validation, be it through social media likes, public accolades, or even peer recognition, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by these standards. Epictetus, however, urges us to break free from this cycle, teaching us that our value lies not in how others perceive us, but in how we perceive and conduct ourselves. The Stoic philosopher teaches us that shame should not be associated with a lack of external respect or recognition, but rather with the failure to live up to our own principles and values. It's not about how others see us, but about how we see ourselves. Have you ever found yourself compromising your values for the sake of external approval or to avoid criticism? This is where the true shame lies, according to Stoic thought. In our contemporary world, this principle resonates more than ever. The constant barrage of social media and the relentless pursuit of approval can lead to a distorted sense of self-worth. We are conditioned to seek validation in likes, shares, and comments, often losing sight of our true selves in the process. Epictetus prompts us to question, is the fleeting pleasure of external approval worth the sacrifice of our authenticity? This Stoic lesson is not about dismissing the value of recognition or the joy it can bring. Instead, it's about decoupling our sense of self-worth from these external factors. It teaches us that real dignity comes from living in alignment with our values, regardless of external perception. This path may not always be easy. There will be moments of doubt and temptation to conform to societal expectations. but the reward is a life of integrity and self-respect. By embracing this principle, we cultivate a sense of inner freedom. We become immune to the fickle tides of public opinion and societal pressure. Our actions and choices are guided by an inner compass, true to our values and principles. We learn to live not in the shadows of others' judgments, but in the light of our self-esteem and dignity. Principle 6. Stand firm in your convictions. Picture yourself at a crossroads, where each path represents a different societal expectation or trend. Standing firm in your convictions is akin to choosing the path that aligns with your true self, despite the allure or popularity of the other routes. Epictetus implores us to recognize the strength in this choice, understanding that true self-expression and fulfillment come from being faithful to our innermost values and beliefs. In today's world, this principle is particularly resonant. Social media platforms and public forums often present a homogenized view of success, happiness, and acceptability, tempting us to conform to these standards to gain approval or avoid criticism. The Stoic wisdom teaches us to resist this temptation, affirming that our individuality and personal integrity are of far greater value than fleeting social validation. Standing firm in your convictions doesn't mean being inflexible or dismissive of others' perspectives. On the contrary, it involves a deep understanding of oneself, a clarity about one's values and beliefs, and the courage to express and live by them, even in the face of opposition or misunderstanding. It's about having the fortitude to walk your path, even when it's less traveled, and to do so with integrity and authenticity. This Stoic lesson also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and continuous growth. It encourages us to regularly examine our beliefs and values, ensuring they are truly our own and not merely adopted from external influences. In doing so, we cultivate a strong sense of self that is not easily swayed by the changing winds of societal trends or opinions. Principle 7. Transform insults into indifference. Envision yourself in a bustling marketplace of discourse where words, like arrows, fly swiftly. Some of these are barbed with insult or steeped in criticism. According to Epictetus, the true art lies not in avoiding these arrows, but in rendering them harmless. The power to do this resides not in the words themselves, but in our reaction to them. In today's world, where harsh words can be encountered as easily on digital platforms as in personal interactions, this teaching is particularly relevant. Social media, online forums, and even personal interactions are often rife with critical and insulting remarks. The Stoic wisdom here teaches us that an insult, like a physical object, has no power to harm us unless we grant it that power. It is our interpretation and internalization of these words that give them their sting. Epictetus encourages us to develop a sense of detachment when faced with insults. This detachment is not a form of emotional suppression or denial, but a conscious choice to not allow these external factors to disturb our inner peace. It's about recognizing that the intent behind an insult belongs to the speaker and reflects their perspectives and limitations, not our own worth. Moreover, this principle invites us to reflect on the nature of the insult. Often, insults are rooted in misunderstandings or a lack of knowledge. By responding with patience and empathy, rather than immediate offense, we open the door to dialogue and understanding. This doesn't mean we accept the insult, but rather that we choose not to let it disrupt our emotional balance. Principle 8. Understanding and overcoming insults. We arrive at the 8th and final principle of Epictetus's Stoic teachings, the art of understanding and overcoming insults. This principle delves into the deeper aspects of human interaction, focusing on the nature of insults and our response to them. It is not merely about indifference, but about comprehension, resilience, and personal growth in the face of adversity. Imagine you're in a serene garden, your own mental sanctuary. Here, words like autumn leaves may swirl around you, some harsh and cutting, others mere whispers in the wind. According to Epictetus, it's not the words themselves that hold power, but our interpretation and reaction to them. Insults, he teaches, are opportunities for self-reflection and growth, rather than mere provocations to anger or hurt. In the realm of personal interactions, especially in the modern digital landscape, insults can be frequent and pervasive. The anonymity and distance provided by screens often embolden hurtful remarks. Epictetus' wisdom invites us to dissect these insults, to understand their origin and intention, and to use this understanding as a tool for personal empowerment. When confronted with an insult, Epictetus advises us to pause and reflect. Why has this been said? Is there truth to it? And if so, what can I learn from it? If the insult is baseless, why should it disturb my peace? This reflection enables us to respond to insults not with impulsive emotion, but with thoughtful consideration. Moreover, this principle encourages us to explore the motivations behind insults. Often, they stem from the other person's insecurities, prejudices, or misunderstandings. Recognizing this can shift our perspective from one of personal affront to one of empathy and understanding. It allows us to see the human behind the hurtful words and, in some cases, address the root cause of the conflict. By practicing this principle, we develop a profound form of emotional intelligence. We become adept at navigating the complex landscape of human communication, turning potential conflicts into moments of connection and understanding. We learn to maintain our composure, dignity, and kindness, even in the face of hostility. In essence, understanding and overcoming insults is about transforming negative interactions into opportunities for personal development and deeper human connection. It teaches us that our response to adversity is a reflection of our character and strength. Through this Stoic principle, we learn not just to endure insults, but to rise above them, growing wiser and stronger in the process. As we draw our exploration of Epictetus's Stoic philosophy to a close, we reflect on the profound impact of these timeless teachings. These 8 principles have guided us through understanding control, embracing resilience, and finding peace amidst life's challenges. Stoicism is more than ancient wisdom. It's a practical toolkit for modern living. It teaches us the value of inner tranquility over external success, and the strength found in authenticity and personal integrity. As we face the complexities of the modern world, these teachings offer a beacon of clarity and stability. Let us carry forward the courage to change what we can, the grace to accept what we cannot, and the wisdom to distinguish between the two. In embracing these principles, we unlock a life of true fulfillment, unshaken by external turbulence. Thank you for joining this journey into Stoic wisdom. May these insights inspire and guide you, leading to a deeper, more harmonious way of living.